Hey YouTube, this is an update about the ongoing news regarding Lastpass. Now, there's lots of stuff about this regarding your privacy and so on, and how you should, securely store your passwords and stuff like that. I don't use a password manager. LastPass is probably one of the most popular, or was one of the most popular password storing add-ons and apps that basically existed. There's a few other really big ones. Um, Basically, when it comes to these type of apps, you shouldn't really be putting your data in these companies because these companies can be taken over, can change their rules and terms and conditions. And if you read up, I'm going to post a couple of links in the description below. If you read up about LastPass and the recent news about how they're going to start charging for basic features that the service provides, it really does pose a really big problem for those who use that. Now, lots of users are going to have to take their data from that and move it over. But also, you have to look at these companies and how well they respond. LastPass actually had a bunch of basically trackers on it as well, which if you're dealing with security, you need to remove that stuff. So my advice to everyone is to not use a password manager that isn't open source, that doesn't have its code base open source when it comes to security and stuff like that. If it's closed source, then you don't know what the code is and you don't know what's going to happen to it. And it takes security firms and hackers to actually have a look at what trackers and security holes are in it. And if it doesn't become big news, then lots of people don't know about it. And if the company isn't upfront, then it's also a problem. So my advice to people is, if you are using a password manager like LastPass, is to basically look at another product. When you've got these companies and these products that belong to a company and they can be bought out, in LastPass's case, by some equity firms, and now suddenly change their terms and conditions, it's really bad practice. I mean, when it comes to passwords and security, companies who are involved in the kind of security space really need to be placing an emphasis on usability and security and consistency across the board, rather than say profit. And there are other open source alternatives and there are other methods to keeping passwords secure. Just as an example, a method that I use to keep my password secure is that I actually have a sentence, a two-sentence paragraph basically, that I know and only I know, and basically generate my passwords from numbers of letters based on that. And you can come up with your own system for that. And it's a really simple way to remember stuff, because you shouldn't be using the same passwords on different websites, and you shouldn't be storing your passwords on a service like LastPass, because if their servers go down, or in this case, if they decide to screw you with charging for services and stuff like that, which were initially free, or in the case of security trackers and stuff like that, which is a huge question mark there. So if you are using LastPass, good idea to change to something else. To the developers of LastPass, I'm sorry that this happened to you, but when a company is owned, when a product is owned and profit becomes the primary motive rather than the actual software itself, and the usability and the end user experience, then eventually the product will suffer the way that this product has, as many other products in the past have suffered. So if you are a developer at LastPass, there are lots of other companies and lots of other developers that would love your skills. So definitely seek those out, because profit motive over security when it comes to internet and privacy cannot stand. Everyone must take a stance on this. Open source development, regarding security protocols at least, is absolutely paramount. Anything that's closed source means, just absolutely do not trust that when it comes to the security protocols or storing your passwords. Anyway, I just wanted to give this quick video out. I hope everyone's safe, and now make sure your passwords are safe as well. Online security is becoming a huge issue, more and more every year. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on your passwords and accounts, and try not to be so stupid when it comes to storing your passwords. So I'll see you in the next video.